This is the special meeting of the Monroe CT 250 committee. I think I'm in a hybrid sense. So this meeting is conducted in part via electronic equipment pursuant to Connecticut law. It is being recorded as we just speak, and it will be on the town's website pursuant to state law. If you didn't know, we do have our own YouTube video of all our meetings that have been recorded. If you're attending remotely, please remember to mute your microphone unless you're speaking. This is from the town council's things. You can say your name or not. All votes taken during which any member of this body are participating remotely shall be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. Although this says the chat feature will not be utilized, I think on my Zoom you can chat if you want to. On that note, what I'd like to do is go ahead and ask everyone to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. You can't see it, but that's okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Karen, can you do the roll call for us?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you now.
The format seems so much different than previous meetings. So I'm like, okay, where am I? Where's my mute?
Don't worry. I know. I'm trying. It's the news. I don't know. I have a new computer, so I'm still working on it.
Oh, no worries. What do you want me to do? Call people's names?
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. Donna Lynn Wales.
Here.
Kevin Daly. He's stuck.
I know maybe he went off. I don't have that. He's not here.
I am here, present via Zoom. I apologize. I was muted.
Okay.
Same as me. Can't get in there. Nicole.
Here.
Marita.
Here.
George.
Here.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you. As I said again, Erin should be joining us shortly. It came up before we met, the approval of the November 20th meetings. That's tabled. We do not have minutes. I know the secretary the co-secretary was pretty swamped to get that out. It's also the holiday, so I think that could be part of it too. So moving right along to item number 4, the treasurer's report. I have nothing to report. Donna Lynn, anything for you?
No, but I don't know. Do you need a treasurer? Because if everything's going to be run through town hall, the reports come through there.
I think we still may want to do it.
Think about it.
So what would we like to call that element? Because we do need to just talk about financials. Year to date, something?
You'd have that on the report.
All right, so we need the treasurer's report. We need to talk
right.
about financials. So
Yeah.
item number 4, what we're going to call it. If we don't want a treasurer.
Right.
Liaison or something.
Okay.
Liaison.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So idea over on this end was a financial liaison.
Financial liaison. For what are we advocating to have a position of that? I'm not understanding.
Well, I was told when we did this subcommittee, when we do a special committee, it does need a treasurer. So that's why we have a treasurer. Whether or not we work together, I think at one point we were talking about working together to getting stuff from financial. You and I talk maybe before the meeting, have it ready for the packet that goes out when we have packets. That's fine. I don't know, but we do need, I would think you would want to know where we are, not financially.
Yeah, right. So maybe what you and I have to do is talk, because it's not, if everything that we're going to be taking in is going to go over into town hall
Yep.
and filed, recorded through there, and the reports will be generated from there. There's nothing that any of us external can do for those to get those reports or so to serve as a treasurer.
Okay, so how about we call it this way? Monroe CT 250's committees, year-to-date report.
That I think, yeah, you would cover the yes, it would be an agenda item, which would be the Monroe CT 250 financial report or report.
Okay.
But it wouldn't need a position because since most of this is going to come, you're the only one that's going to have access to the information anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll do that.
Yeah, but you're right. It still has to be an agenda item to say what are our assets here. Yeah.
Good. Okay, that's good.
Yep.
Whoop, I'm sorry. I keep doing that. I'm trying to, I can't get my stuff together. I apologize. The next thing we had to talk about was the how we are with why is it not going gallery? That's what I'm looking for. How we are doing. The next thing on the agenda that we had was unfinished business sponsorship discussion. I know a lot of people on the call weren't present. And so what we did is thank you, Marita, for putting that together. And thank you, Marita, for being patient with me and Sue as I was sharing Google Docs. I hope everyone here on the call can access the Google Sheets. I sent that as a separate invitation. And so, just like as I said in my email, in the spirit of volunteerism, if you're not present, you get volunteered.
Voluntold.
Volunteer too. Yeah,
Voluntold, yeah.
yeah. So everyone, those who weren't present don't have a lot, but some of us have done things. I know that we just received the sponsorship letter and form approval on Monday. I understand that I need to send it out again as a PDF so that we can be sure it's both are one page, and I can do that. Did anyone in virtual world even think about it? I know it's the holidays. It's a little crazy.
Nicole, I do have a question that I did wanted to ask regarding the potential sponsor letter. So for the places, because I highlighted everything to get myself, organized. But if I'm going to these places, is it okay for me to add my personal contact on the bottom of that letter, or just write it once I hand it to these people so that they can contact me? Or how will they, or do they contact the committee? How does it work?
You're going to, if you walk through that door, you can say, hi, I am, and then sign your name and your email or whatever you're comfortable with. And then they will contact you so that you can manage the money, how it works, logos and things like that. And then you'll just send that information to me or fill out the form as you progress.
Okay. I just wanted to know if it was okay for me to provide my personal information to them. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Do we have an end date that we want to have all this done?
Nope, we don't have an end date.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Wasn't sure. We had the.
Yeah. Nicole, on the sponsor list, I'm not too familiar with using an Excel format in Google Docs. Is there a way to set a filter on the columns in there? Or maybe this is a question for Marita, if you're more familiar with it.
How do you want to filter? How do you want to sort or filter?
Filter.
Filter by?
Name, any of the columns I want to filter by.
Okay, that's sorting. Let me show you what I did.
No, it's not sorting. I don't want to sort it. I want to filter it.
Okay, then that I don't know. Hold on. So I would think, right, can you see now?
Yeah, so what I want to do, Marita.
And this is where you can do whether you want to delete, hide. I did the creative filter right here. Can you see
there?
that,
Yeah, there. Where did you go for that?
Again, I go to the letter of the column.
Okay, that's what you do.
And see the little drop down arrow?
Yeah.
That gives you a lot of the Excel
got it.
options of
Okay.
a column.
All right, that's where it is. And yeah, I know where it is in Excel, but I don't know where that is in Google Docs. Okay, fine.
And what are you filtering? I was
My
wondering
name.
if,
You know, my name. I mean, everybody probably would want to know, it has to use column D to know where they are, so I would filter on my name.
and then I did that for myself as well. So if I just did A to Z, it gives you everything you need. Who's
but
doing
yeah,
what?
uh,
Can you see that now?
Hold on, you sorted, right?
I sorted, that's all.
Okay, I wanted to filter, but you got me, yeah. So if you create a filter, heads up, creating a filter affects all viewers of this sheet. All right, filter for me.
I don't know. So if you just wanted to filter for
The
you,
viewer's
you'd have to
temperature
play
should
with it.
only
So this
state
is something
every-
you would do at home, or we can do it together and,
No.
Yeah, I'll have to figure it out.
yeah,
But I
I
wouldn't,
have a feeling you can figure it out.
well, I just didn't know where it was.
Yeah.
Because it's different than Excel.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, go away. That's up.
Let's close it.
I can't close it. It won't let me do.
And that would do it.
Nope, I can't do undo either. I don't know what the heck is
Hit
going.
escape. Hit the escape key. See what you get. There you
Okay,
go.
hopefully that'll work. Okay, good. So that's what I did. Just so you know, I don't know, did you start too, or you just?
No, I just went through it to see what I had.
Mhm. Just for you guys, I did start a little bit. I talked next door for I went through all my Monroe Turnpike people.
Yeah.
And I went to, I have to go now. I tried to go to economic development, but they sent me to the health department because the health department has the current licensing information for franchisees and the store manager. So I actually have to go there one day this coming week and actually sit in the office and write down the names. They don't have it in Excel. So
What are you looking for, Nicole?
I was just looking for the franchisee to call them to see if I can walk in.
Of that. Yeah, that's a hard one to get to. Yeah.
Yeah. So and a couple things, I just want to let you know, I did find out something already. And I think all of you, I'm going to unshare just because it's busy.
Mhm.
I went to, I lost Marita. Sorry about that, Marita. I think you went to, you all worked with Panera before, right? I think.
No, I never.
Okay, so Panera usually has a fundraising night. They have a couple options. They have one day, and you can get a 25% payout if your flyers bring $150 net sales. You can do a one day every 30 days. Flyers can't be passed out at the store, but you can share it with your friends. For me personally, it's an easy thing to do because I can file online. I can pick a day online, and something we could do real quick with a flyer and things like that and pass it out on social media. But that was one thing. The other thing is a 30% payout. But that would have had to happen for a limited time from the 1st through the 21st. But I'll keep my eyes peeled if that interests you to see if they do it another time, another month in a certain section, because I thought it was a really neat idea.
I think I'm on mute. I can't unmute myself. I think as you muted me, I just wanted to ask.
Come on. There you go.
I think McDonald's does that too.
They're all on my list, the whole list.
But the other thing too is if that's your thing you're doing, we don't need to give you permission to go ahead and do it. I think that's part of the fundraising, right?
We have
You
to figure
decide-
out, or dates, maybe dates, you think?
It doesn't matter because we're either going to go or not go. Like that's up to you. I would think if you're raising for that company, then you take that because otherwise we're going to be doing this for all the companies. And the point of us each taking our individual things is that we take care of those. Am I
All right.
wrong? I don't know. Anybody else?
I don't know. I'm a little confused. now. So we're talking about going to the different franchises and seeing if they have some sort of a, you know, a program.
No, I went to Panera. I know Panera does this. I went online, I went to the
Right.
corporate site, and I found this information.
Right.
And so my question is, if you ever used it, is it worthwhile? Or go ahead and do it and want to do it every other month or something like that. I just didn't know if it didn't even interest you as a quick way to raise funds.
Right. So it's a way to, these different companies have these programs that people can, you can register the organization with them or so, and then people can go online and donate to that program. Right. Yeah. So you're talking about that.
So the question is it okay that we just go ahead as we go forward and take responsibility for that? You don't, if we find these corporations to do things, if I just add in the dates of the fundraising in the sheet, that's okay, and to go from there.
I think it's necessary to do it that way, and that's why we have the Google Docs, so we can all
Okay.
see what each of us is doing.
Right.
And then if you want advice, certainly like, hey, I'm thinking of this. Do you love this idea or not? I mean, that's what meetings are for, but I think if we do a check-in for every single fundraiser we find, this will never get done.
No, and I guess maybe because it is the first time, I
Yep.
just want to see what we have as a
Sure.
guideline, because it's a new thing.
Yep.
So that's okay. So I will go ahead and I'll look at that once I get all the other institutions right in that row that are all corporate. See who else is doing it, and not do it on the same day or the same month, maybe
Right.
a different one on a different month or every
Hopefully it
other,
doesn't change yet.
and then start working on that from my end.
How do people know that that's out there to contribute to?
Facebook.
Did you
So
hear
who
that? It's from
puts-
Facebook and social media. I'm also on one of the Monroe site.
So we
links,
have to put it
Facebook.
onto, so the CT250 Facebook page has to announce, broadcast this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I would probably, I also,
Robotar.
well, I think I shared with you that 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I would probably go all that way. Maybe not every single thing on that 4-page document, but I would talk to Bill Batar. I would send it on. Teresa Coleman's no longer there, but through the schools, I would do all kinds of stuff like that. There's a whole list of marketing that I do.
Okay.
So I think Friends of the Library have done that at Panera or something.
Okay, you're garbled. So if that was Karen, can you say it again?
Oh, please. I was saying that I think the Friends of the Library have done that
Correct.
there or somewhere. So maybe someone on that committee can kind of help with information, if it was worth it or not or whatever.
Right. And Big Y's in my thing too. I'm like, I'm going to go right down every one of those institutions and figure it out. Oh, I do have a question. Does anybody have a current relative or friend working at Starbucks or recently separated from Starbucks? Because Starbucks has a foundation you can apply through that friend.
Oh,
Oh,
Ah,
no, I don't. Yeah.
so beat the bushes at the holiday season and find out who's working at Starbucks. So I found that out. Oh, Jersey Mike's March is giving month. So that's why I also want to get that information, because I want to see if we can do Jersey Mike's giving, get on their list. They do mostly like Make-A-Wish and things,
Yeah,
but
last
we'll
year.
see what they want to do. So I did a little noodling on that today, just to get you an idea of what could be potential out there. But I thought the Starbucks one was interesting. If you have a friend or somebody who works or worked recently and is willing to apply under their name, that would be great. Did anyone else have questions on their sponsoring and the responsibilities and things?
Nope. So we've got the form and letter and that spreadsheet, so we can go out now and just start soliciting for funds then. Right.
The next thing, I think what we really wanted to talk about, and I think Donovan, you wanted to lead
Oh,
the discussion, was
you're-
the events list.
You're muted in a way, Nicole.
Yes, you faded away.
You faded away, yeah, real bad.
Okay, let me see if I can talk into the mic. I think
Nope.
Darlene, you wanted to lead the events discussion.
No good, Nicole.
You hit anything.
I didn't hit anything.
I think you might have came off of the full speaker mode.
Oh, maybe that's it. I don't know.
Okay. Hold on, let me pull up the agenda.
You want me to make you a, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, pull up the agenda. Nicole. Show the agenda on the screen. Well, that's not it. All right, well, you got the agenda? Nope. There we go. Okay, scroll down. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so the next item would be, yes, the events discussion. So I think, Nicole, if you go to the event spreadsheet, I remember from our last meeting, we said that what we need to really focus on now are the events and what we want to do. Because we are running out of time for anything we might have forecasted to do in January or February. So I think if you scroll down numbers 1, 2, 3, oh, okay, 4, stop at 4, right there. So we definitely know, well, we have defined that we talked about a lot of a day in the park that would be in May. And then there were other ancillary events. We talked about going to the schools and having them do some sort of display, let's say, for the different aspects of the celebration. Maybe have those on display at the library or the day in the park. We talked offline. We talked at times about a gala, a couple of other things in here. So basically looking at what is it that we want to do. And if we just scroll down, we have our day in the park. 5 is, go down and keep going. 5 is day in the park. 6 is cemetery visitation and honor, placing flags on the veterans across the wars like they did for the bicentennial. 7 is 7, 8, and 9 is what I was talking to before, that like the elementary school would do the middle school would do a history and evolution of the American flag. Massic would do an exploration of the Declaration of Independence. When we would have a history tent either at that day in the park, or we would have each month dedicated to one of the schools in the library to do the display there. What else do we have? CT 250 celebration song. The 11th, the day in reading, we can do. That's pretty much, I think we're okay with that. Because we're not leveraging that ourselves. That's something that the school system does, but we will participate in that to have in the day of reading. 12, light up Monroe, luminaries for sale. I think Karen had said that she's got that kind of under control. So they would sell those luminaries to raise money. 13, light up Monroe on that day of the 4th of July, and we would give awards for the most patriotic, first, second, and third. I think a lot of these others, let's see, a bonfire, questionable, a Liberty Ball or gala, if you will. 16, a lecture series. 17, celebration of song, maybe get the whiff and poofs. Go up, Nicole. I think you skipped 18. 17? 18 I need. There you go. Well, Memorial Day Parade, we're going to ask the committee to make that their theme this year, which is not an issue for us to have to leverage. 19, day of service at large for town to go around, help to clean up the town or so. That was an idea that came up. And then I added a mini golf in the library as a fundraiser. So I think overall what we want to talk about is what now do we want to have as our events? Ooh, we're getting feedback now.
We're trying to use.
Yeah, wow, it's really wicked.
Right, we get it.
You know what? Hey, Nicole, turn off your mic and have Sue turn on hers.
That's what we're trying to do.
Okay. Not working, huh?
Yeah. I'm sure we will. See if that helps me.
Okay. All right, I'll keep going. So maybe just to get discussions going, start it this way with our events. Do we want to have the day in the park? And do we want to have other events as well? I hear nobody. I can't, because we're so bad, I don't know if anybody's trying to speak and they can't unmute.
Is there some way that we can do like a vote on, how we did for the t-shirts of maybe being like, I think these are my top 5 important things or something, because there's so many exciting things on that. But
I know the day in the park was how we were going to tie in the fife and drum band if we ever get the funding for it. So
Right.
I thought that was kind of high on the list.
Yeah, that was, I think it was understood that it would be part of that day, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have, well, we don't have much time. We've just got January to June.
Right.
And
I'm concerned that we haven't reached out to schools yet because there's so much stuff we're asking of them and they have so little time.
right. And it would, yep. And it would have been nice to have the kids do that history activity.
It doesn't mean we can't still do it, but I think we should reach out before Christmas break. I'm willing to reach out to Joe or somebody just to get a feel for it, or the high school principal.
About what they
But
can do.
if we can ask if we can basically ask them to do these events for us, the contest, or at the very least we create flyers and ask these kids to participate after school, like on their own independently, maybe not through the school itself, but we can hopefully use the schools to recruit the kids to do the stuff.
To do what stuff? You mean like that, the different history
Yes.
presentations?
Like even that presentation, just the displays in the library, like we said, the high schooler kids do a higher level, middle school does a middle school,
Right.
they focus on whatever, etc.
Yep.
If we can just maybe create some rubrics or a flyer and just ask Joe and the other principals if we can, feed this into the schools and see if they'll pick it up. See if the kids will do it on their own independently. I don't know that it will, but I don't know if we can do it during the school days.
See if they would do it on their own for what, to just to take that idea and do it.
Yes.
Okay. Separately from
We'd have
us.
to
without
create
having
the
any
rubrics.
Okay.
No, we
I
are
mean,
the ones that set up the contest. Looks just like any like the Daughters Revolution, American Revolution have. Oh, somebody write an essay and we'll pick the essay the best winner. Something along those lines. It's not gonna be like, here, do something. We're gonna give them rubrics. We're gonna give them ideas of how the things should be presented, but it's really just to participate more than anything else.
So that's a good idea. So what I would, though, take it back a little bit to say, well, we need to come up with that rubrics and have a bit more to give them so they know what to do. And we
Right.
should need to plan for when we want to have them do that. So,
Exactly.
can we, I mean, is that something we can decide now and look at that and say, okay, we want to have this done and here's the details, how we see it, how we envision it to be carried out. And then go forth to the schools and contact them about with the information.
I thought we had a pretty generic outline already. I think it's maybe okay to ask permission with the generic outline, with the idea that if you're willing to do this, we'll come back with a specific outline, but here's our thoughts. And we'd like to do this in the months of February, March, April. But like, I think we have to put it out there already so the schools can get used to it. They can say, yeah, the kids are too busy. We'll put it out there for you. We're not going to manage it, which I think is probably what's going to happen. So I think we're okay going ahead with like a very generic outline and saying, this is our thought. What do you think? Would the kids be interested, or would we get no feedback? So.
Okay, so we'd have to put some dates in it as far if what we're thinking, we would have to give them some guidance also too about where this would be displayed, how, coordinate
Right,
how those would be
right.
displayed as well, and that. So somebody can work on that.
Right. I'll throw together an outline and send it back to the group in the emails and see if you guys think it's
Okay.
enough. And if it is, then I'll reach out to Joe and see if we can meet, or I can send him something and just get some. And he might say, like, I can't do this with this little information. I need much more specific stuff. But I would hate to go ahead and plan the whole thing just for them to say, yeah, no, we're not going to participate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I wasn't advocating that we would do it that way. I'm the way that you're describing it is that we give them the information, but definite, a little bit more information, just generic, and tell them where, when, and the thought
Yeah.
to them, and see what's going to happen. So, okay. So that would
Right. I will create an outline.
Okay. And when they would display it and how. I saw something
Right.
come up in the chat. What came through? Hold on. Are we confirmed on May 9th? Yeah, with the park? You mean, Nicole? Are we confirmed on May 9th with the park? Haven't heard that. What I said the last or 2 meetings ago is that they were putting together their Parks and Rec. Missy was putting together the schedule more towards the beginning of the year. She'll know. But we went in with the dates or whatever in that event spreadsheet I have. I think it's the 9th and 26th or whatever it was. Those are the dates that we want. And she said, don't go past Memorial Day because then the pool gets opened.
Right.
Okay, so Nicole, can you go back and show the events again? May 9th, then we need to reserve park from Thursday through Sunday for the tent setup. Well, she has the tent. About what? Speak with Chief White.
The event. He needs to know we're having an event on May 9th because he has to plan for police.
Well, okay.
So he should know as soon as Misty tells us. Yeah.
Okay, wait. We're kind of talking about two different things here now. So do we want to? You're right. For every event, we're going to have to work for every event, we're going to have to work out the details of what needs to be done. So, and that's fine. So, but right now, are we talking about the events that we want first or propose and then get that event task list and put that in together and fill that in. So otherwise we can jump right now and forget about talking about what we want and just go to the event, the day in the park and fill in all the activities and tasks that need to be done for that.
I think a lot of that stuff can be done. Each of us take a piece of it and bring it back to the next meeting for us to sit here and try to hash out events. Like, for example, if you say, we need someone takes that ownership and we can back it. Right. Maybe not the next meeting, but the one in January, and say, I've done this, this is what I propose. But to Nicole's point, the minute Missy says we have the park, Chief White needs to know because he has to plan too.
Yeah, right.
And if things fall through, it doesn't matter.
Well, we have a lot yeah, we have to do a lot of that. There's a lot that has to be done for that.
Right, but
And we need to make the list of things that we need to do. But right now.
okay, I think we're saying the same thing, but I think Chief wants to.
But what? I'm sorry?
I think we're saying the same thing. I just think that when we say May 9th definitive, Missy said, okay, the next call is to Chief White to let him know whether or not we
fine.
have tasks written down or done, but we should. Yeah.
That's fine. But that we can, if we want, but this all kind of gets to come up when we move, after we define our events that we want, then we would move next to defining the activities and tasks for each of those events.
Got it.
So what other events are we holding or proposing to hold, Pat? So Nicole, can you go back and show the events schedule? The events form.
If I remember correctly, Kevin had suggested like a self-guided tour that he would put together. I think that's a great idea. So we have something people can do on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then,
working
we'll
on
figure out
that.
the details to that, but I think that'd be a nice, easy thing for us to
Yeah,
do.
that is. Yeah.
That's an ongoing process and has been for some time. For those of you who follow the Monroe Historical
Excellent.
Society's Facebook page, everything that I've been doing recently that it's mostly property related is going to be applied to that. So that's part of my strategy.
Yep.
Sue, by the way, your house is next.
Mm.
So
Woohoo!
prepare,
As I sit there,
prepare for
as I
autographs.
sit there looking at the
Don't
picture
tell
of it.
David. Don't tell David. You know how he gets.
Yeah, you know.
Kevin,
He's not proud of our house at all.
Kevin, I was going to mention to you separately because I know you were working on that, and Kelly Petro had approached us, the society, on doing something like that. Is it okay if I speak more with her about it and put her in touch with you? Because she had some other ideas in addition to what you were doing.
Well, yeah, I'm always happy to talk to Kelly. She's a very positive force. You can give her my contact information. I mean, I can't guarantee anything because I kind of have everything laid out and I'm just trying to stay on track with it. But
yeah, I think she was trying to come up with like an audio thing to, to like have, audio added to whatever you come up with and
I see. Well,
stuff like that. So I
what
can
I'm
send
doing, what I'm
Oh,
doing
that'd be nice.
basically right now is each property is approximately 1 page long. There is a vintage photo, there is the address, and then there's the history of the property. So that's I know in the past for the bicentennial, there was a student at Massac who was working with me to put together histories of the town. And I don't know who this woman was, but she took all of that and she made videos at each of the properties. And they're still on the bicentennial website if anyone has access to it. And I think it was pretty well received. I'm not the guy to be standing in front of the camera narrating, but I'll be happy to work with Kelly or anyone else if you want to take it to the next level. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm going to see her tomorrow at the Christmas fair.
Yes.
So I'll mention that I mentioned her and we can talk together.
Sure. Send her my best. I like Kelly. She's great.
Yeah, I agree.
Chat, back to Kieran's point, shall we come with our favorite event December 18th and take ownership of it? I don't know at this point. I think we kind of have, maybe I'm looking at it and saying, well, collectively, what do we have? And the time that's left, what could we leverage?
Well, I think that whoever suggested that is a good idea. Then it puts the onus on one person and we don't talk circles around it. Like that's an action item. Let's get something done. I've chosen this event. And then maybe that's something like once you decide what you want to do, you send a group to the whole email to the whole group and say, by the way, I'd like to do this one. Like right now, I'll say, I'll work on the schools event. that could be my thing right now.
So we have the schools, I think we have a couple of things. We have the schools, we have the, and you'll take that. We have the luminaries. Karen, you have that, right? We have the day in the park, and that's all of us. We'll have to break that down because there'll be
Right.
sub assignments in that, because that's a larger item. The day of reading, I've got that. The gala, some of we've talked about before, and people might want to take it. Sue, did you want to take the gala and see if we can?
Yeah, I left a message this week. I haven't heard back, so I'll follow up tomorrow with them and see if there's any way we can do this without it being a huge upfront
Okay.
expense, which I'm really not convinced it's going to be anything we can afford to do, because I think they're going to want money down. But I'll
I
ask.
know. Yeah, they usually
I'll
wanted to
follow up.
reserve it. Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right, so then we're using this event list. Then everybody put in their proposal, what they would like to see, what they would do, what they would like to take responsibility for. And we'll come back at the meeting for the 18th and review that and come up with the final list of events.
Is there any way people could?
Oh, one more thing. If there's anything on here that's not listed, put in a new one.
Is there any way we can choose this tonight? Like, obviously, Kevin's going to do the historical tour. I'll do the schools. Anybody else? And Karen has the whatever. I almost at the Illuminatis. But if we walk away tonight, we each have a thing that speeds it up a little bit more.
Can we get the Illuminatis?
Yeah, I'll try, Kevin. I'll
What
try
do they
for
charge?
you. Nicole might be a better person for that, since all those books are around her. So, like, I mean, like right now, is it something that interests you, Donna, Lana, or
I thought that's what I was leading to, Sue. I thought that's where we were kind of in this rallying it off, but then,
yeah, I misunderstood.
You wanted the proposal for, coming back in the 18th. I was like, okay,
yeah,
we'll go
I
with
misunderstood
that.
you.
But I think we're kind of good with a lot of them.
Yeah.
Some of them we may want to just take out, like I'm looking right now, maybe number 17 goes off because you got it now. It's the celebration of song with the Whiffin Pools. I know with them you got to book them really in advance, so something like that probably is just going to come off naturally right now.
Okay.
I would strike it. Day of service.
Maybe instead of that.
Day of service. I don't know how that. I don't know how that would work. It was an idea that was here to record it. I don't know how it would work. I don't know what the vision was for that. Mini golf in the library.
A couple of years ago, the football team did something. A couple of years ago, the football team did they walked around town with those sticks and picked up trash everywhere, like a morning of, and was just that kind of thing. And I don't know how it must have been coordinated for the town somehow, but it was like, hey, we're doing this thing for our town today in celebration of us or the football team. I think it was like tackle the trash or something like that. So, could be something as simple as picking up trash.
Maybe then Nicole, Sue, as long as you got Joe's ear, you want to put that to him as well?
I'll ask about it.
I really don't know if many organizations adult organizations would participate in that, but as long as you have the kids try it.
And they might have their own day of service in the schools too, but I'll ask Joe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I think with the go up the bonfire. Didn't Aaron volunteer for something with that? He'd follow up. I thought when we talked about this a couple months ago, Aaron had kind of said he had with the scouts the connection or so. I could be wrong with that. But I don't know if we want to throw a bonfire in the warmer weathers. People are not really going to get in the mood for a bonfire at that point. I think it's more we're looking to spring, So I'd be I'm kind of looking to say maybe that's something that could be stricken and said, no, let's cancel that. Light up Monroe. That who was go up to number 12 and 13, Nicole? Karen. I'll work with somebody on number 13. I would need
Which
I
is
would need
what?
another person. I would need another person with that to coordinate it in such a way like they do right now with the Christmas lights, right? I gotta say I'm not skilled electronically with all these QR codes and the Facebook postings and everything like that, and it's gonna come down to something like that. I would need another person with that on me if I want. I could take it. Who else do we have up there? I think I was a Light up Monroe, bonfire, no. What else are we missing then? Can you strike, just not delete the row, but can you strike through Nicole, line 14? You should be able to format that, the font. No, I don't want it deleted. No, 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 no. Don't delete it. Strike it. Strike through.
So, yeah, I'll do that.
There you go. Oh, you had it. That's what you need. Strike that. We go down, go down. We've got somebody there for that. Go down. Sue, 19, Sue?
Yep.
What do you mean it's too late? Nicole, why did you put too late at number 18?
Because our event will be over by then, right?
No, our events, they can still celebrate this. Yeah, right. But it's still our big event will be over, but it doesn't mean that the celebration for the birthday will be done. That ends July 4th. All right, strike it. Strike, put that as a strike through. Day of service, Sue?
Yep.
Okay.
When I talk to Joe, I'll ask if they do it.
It is Merida. It was Merida's idea. But she's,
Oh,
yes, but Sue is with, all right, then we can do Merida and Sue, but at least Sue's going to be already with Joe to talk about the historical art idea.
right. So once I talk to Joe, I'll float the idea of the day of service and then pull Merida in
Yes.
when I get an answer from Joe.
Exactly, yeah.
Happily pass that off to her.
Yep, yep, yep. This way, as long as you're there. To Merida. Okay. And then the mini golf, I would say strike that right now because I think there's just so much right now. I don't think we're going to be able to do that in time. Okay, strike that one. Okay. Nicole, did you strike number 20? You're right. That's why I at least strike number 20, because I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I wanted to actually go back and see how many, that make sure that column B or C is balanced across the group, that no one person, we're not too heavily laden. So we're beyond that, Kevin. Yeah, that'll go me. So we're beyond, so we're at number 4, we're starting. So Kevin, day in the park is every single one of us with different activities. We started there. Okay, so that's fine. That's all of us anyways. 6 is Aaron and me. Okay. Sue's got all the history 10s, the students. Sue. Massic song. I don't know. Day of reading me. Karen, light up Monroe. Okay. To 13. Okay, go to 13. Oh, Karen, you go to Karen, are you okay with the luminaries?
Yes.
Okay. Me, Sue, me. Could somebody else, I feel like I'm going to get kind of heavy here. Can somebody else take what's wrong? Nicole? Marita, is there a number of events that are required? I feel like there's a lot. That's what I was just going to actually say here, Marita. Thanks. Because I was going to say that I see for myself to just kind of jettison this, a couple of mine to somebody else, balance it out. But there are quite a lot of things here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I would not, right. I think as we fill this in my opinion, we could take some of these off right now. So I don't delete them, just strike through. Like I say, there was the whiff and poo one, strike through that. We're not going to get them. 17.
I also feel like the light up Monroe in July is going to be hard because like the night, it's going to be fireworks everywhere anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know. The decorating of
Yeah.
the house, people do what they do every year, but
Yep. So strike that one, 17. Let's strike the, where was the light up? That
13.
one. Yeah, let's strike that. What else do we think could go?
Well, probably the ball, but I won't know that until tomorrow or next week, probably. So that's definitely a question mark.
Well, let me ask it, maybe I can ask it this way. Do we want to have the ball? Okay, we're going to have a day in the park, and let me tell you, that's going to be that's going to take some time for at least the 3 days beforehand. And that day is going to be a lot of work, the old time. That's a big dedication. With all these other smaller events around, do we want to take on another big event that we have to organize and set up, sell tickets to? That's a big one.
I personally do not have the time to commit.
To the
I
ball.
would
Yeah.
I would like to explore it, and if it's a bust, then it's a bust. But after like the bicentennial committee, I had many people ask me like, "Oh, it would have been fun to have a dance or a big party for the adults. Like this is focused on the adults." But you know, we haven't done. There hasn't been a Project North party for a while. The last big event in town was, I don't know,
The fire department.
right. So like it's been a while, and I think people are like sometimes people crave that, especially in like March. But let me just make a phone call, and like I
Alright.
said, I'll email you guys as soon as I hear.
Okay.
If they say we need $1,000 up front, then it's obviously no for us.
Okay. Anything else that can get stricken here? So, 10. Strike that. Let the schools do their own thing if they want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Day of reading, they're going to leverage that. All we have to do is have 3 of us show up to read. That's nothing. Fall from history lecture series, US and Monroe. But that we could change to what Kevin's doing, what he proposed. Kind of the same thing. So, all right, Karen. So let's see. Keep going down, Nicole? Parade, that's just to ask them. Merida, Dave, sir. Okay, so who do we have? So Aaron and Marita. Is there something here you can take?
I cannot take anything else. I volunteer for so many other things. I would not have the time to do it. I'm being really honest. I won't have the time to commit.
So what about Aaron? Do you think, Nicole? We'll have to ask him. So okay. All right, so then that means take you off then of 19, Marita, as well?
You can keep me on there. I will do whatever I can to make it happen if they and if the schools, already participate in this. So that's fine.
I think scroll down, scroll down to that, Nicole. And I'm sorry, but you cut out on me, Marita. Say that again, hon.
I said we can keep it there. I think Sue said that she's going to talk to Joe and then she'll pass it on to me and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, because she's just having Joe's ear that day because she's right there with her assignment there. So yeah, it would be taking it over from her at that point to get it all completed and done. Okay. All right, maybe we have to. All right, well, let's start with that. And see where we go. I think the only thing that needs to be discussed further with externally that we know is going to be with the schools. Everything else is pretty well defined. I mean, there's nothing to talk to the parade committee and say, make this your theme this year. It's nothing to talk to, a couple things like that. So, okay. Anything? Okay, Karen.
I know Vita had said that she would welcome anything we wanted to try to do with the parade, as she's the chairperson. So if we have something very specific we want to do, as long as it doesn't take away from the vets.
Right. Yeah. So we could even have ourselves begin the parade if we wanted to do something like that. Yeah.
Speak for yourself, Donna.
I'm in it. You don't have to get fancy schmancy for it, You have a good time.
I like to sit by St. Jude and drink my cocktail and watch the parade.
All right. What else, Nicole? Anything else? That's it, right? I think that was the last on the agenda. Any new
Good.
business you want to note, Nicole, in the chat? Okay. I think, hold on one second. There was okay. Nicole and Sue, can you guys not stay online, but can the 2 of you call me quickly after the meeting?
Sure.
Okay, Sue. All right.
I'll call you from the car.
Okay. All right. So Nicole, are we saying goodbye and I need a motion to okay. No motion.
Not yet. Nicole can just adjourn it, right? As a chairperson?
Thank goodness for the chat.
I can't see the chat anymore.
I think we have assignments, so we need to come to December 18th meeting with ideas and a game plan dates. Then we meet December 18th hybrid. Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. So whatever we need to find out, we need to find out and ready for December 18th. And really come through and give dates to that. And also the assignments on who's gonna own that from the committee. Okay. And that would be the game plan, sure. Yep. Okay. Anything else from anybody that needs to go to be just even noted for the next meeting? Going, gone? All right. And that's it. 8:06 p.m. adjournment. All righty. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.